What's up guys, how you doing today? Welcome back to this YouTube channel, it's your guy Igor here. Hit that like button and subscribe to this video if you have already done so. Let's get started. In today's video I would like to talk to you about the importance of taking risks, of how it can change your life and help you achieve your dreams. I'll tell you about the risks, of which risks I took, how it changed my life, and how it can change your life as well. If you search online, you're going to find so many other people who are preaching about taking risks. They're probably going to show you Mike Tyson and all those great people like Tesla guy, Elon Musk, and so many other people like Bill Gates preaching about taking risks and about their success. The only problem with those people and us watching them is that those people are so distant away from us regular people, that hearing the information of how they took risks to achieve what they have achieved doesn't really make an impact. So that's why I'm creating this video, because taking risks in your life helped me change my life drastically. And since I'm not a great guy, and no different from you, you can change your life as well. Let's start with a definition of risk. I'm going to read it from one of the online sources. It is a probability of a threat or a damage, injury, liability, loss, or any other negative occurrence that caused by external or internal vulnerabilities and that may be avoided through preemptive action. Okay, so if you search online for risk, you're going to understand that everyone is telling you that you have to take preemptive action to avoid risk, mitigate risks, and not to take risks. The way how I see risk is it's a distance, an uncertainty between where you are right now and where you want to be. And uncertainty is always a fear, because you are not certain how things are going to go. That's why everyone is so afraid of risk, and so many people are discouraging others to take risks. Well, I'll tell you that you should take risks, and I'm going to tell you about my biggest risks in my life and how it changed my life, and it can change yours as well. My biggest risk was coming to Canada. Now, my friends said that I shouldn't be doing that. My family members said you shouldn't be doing that. And you know what? I didn't have enough money. My English was not good enough. And it was just scary. Now, let me show you a picture of what happened. Just imagine this. You are like myself, in Ukraine. Your English is not that good, you know, you don't have enough money to afford the 2 years of tuition at that point. Also, all of your family members are saying that it's not a good idea. You go to your friends to discuss your idea and they're saying that it's not a good idea. You go to some people that you barely know at your gym who are saying like, what nonsense are you saying? You know, it's something unimaginable. You want to go to a country where you know no one, where you have no one, and why? Just because you want to go there? So everyone I met said it's not a good idea. The first person who agreed to me was my mother, because I convinced her that there is no option for me to be in Ukraine. But the risk was even more challenging. What happened to me is I had to sell off a lot of property to get enough money to come to Canada. Now, selling off the property, selling off your garage, selling off the car, selling off lots of assets, just to have a chance to apply to a Canadian embassy for a study permit. Now, to get a chance, you have to have enough money, which I didn't have. If I had enough money, it wouldn't be that much of a risk. So I had to sell off so much of stuff to be able to afford to pay for my tuition, because that's one of the requirements of getting your study permit in Canada. And I spoke to people who didn't get their study permit, even when they had enough money. So there was a chance of me getting rejected by an immigration officer in Canadian embassy and not coming to Canada as an international student even after I sell all of that. So basically I had to give up everything, pay off my first semester of tuition just to have a chance of coming to Canada. The reason why I took this risk was that I knew how much of opportunities I would get, how much more money I would be getting at my workplace, and how much more happier I would be in Canada rather than living in Ukraine. I just knew that personally for me, it would work so much better. And I knew that I should be taking that risk. And as you can see right now, I'm speaking English with you. It's way better than it used to be. And I'm in Canada. So I have successfully achieved what I was planning on this risk. My second biggest risk was moving to Alberta. Once I came to Canada and I studied here and I graduated from my school, I had to finish my immigration. So from the rumors, I heard that Alberta would be an easier place to immigrate, but I didn't have a job in Alberta and I didn't have enough money to stay a long time without a job in Alberta. And I had no friends and I had no idea how Alberta looks like, just a couple of rumors that it's an oil industry here and there were more jobs at that time. So I just went ahead and I purchased tickets, came to Alberta without any job and guarantee of getting my immigration done, finding an employer or anything. And guess what? I ended up finding an employer, I ended up filing my immigration here, I ended up buying an apartment here, which was my third biggest risk, because when I lost my job in Alberta, I was laid off and I was paying rent. I was paying rent to a landlord and it was crazy. My wife came up with an idea of buying a condo and actually going to link, there would be a pop-up somewhere here or here where you would be able to see a video about how we did it. But the thing is this, instead of paying to a landlord the rent, you are actually paying to pay off your mortgage and you're basically paying to yourself and you're owning the property. It's an investment. So buying your own property was a great thing, but I was too afraid to do that. You see, once you take huge risks like immigration or moving to another province, at some point you get comfortable again and you don't want to take any more risks. It would be more comfortable for me to pay to the landlord until now. I'm telling you, it was the only possible option for me to pay to the landlord, but in reality the landlord would be paying off his mortgage and I would be just losing the money and never getting anything of it back. And now by owning the property, by taking this risk, by taking all of these risks, I got my Canadian immigration done, I moved to a beautiful place, Calgary in Alberta, and finally I own property. My risk number 4, I would say it was asking my employer, asking my boss for an increment. So my boss was really paying me less at my previous workplace and there was some other people were getting way more money than me. But there was a fear of me coming and speaking up to my boss to get that increment. And to be honest, I think that my boss ended up being scared more than I was, because he would never speak to me in person. He would always have a bookkeeper sitting next to him or couple more people who would agree to anything and everything whatever my boss would say. So I prepared myself probably for half a day. I was so stressed out and I don't think even my boss realized why I was stressed out that day. I prepared myself, I walked into his office and I said, I need more money. Now that was my biggest risk, because I was saying he's going to tell me to get out of the office or he's going to tell me worse, you're fired or something else. Because he was not only my boss, he was the owner of the company. So I went to him and I spent about 15 minutes in an office talking to him. And guess what? I went out of his office with a higher salary. I was getting more money the next day than the day when I came in there. Overcoming that risk, I think when you overcome risk, you also get respect from other people. By taking risk, you are getting so much more. Once you are asking for what you want and you're going and you're showing the initiative that you actually wanted, you're actually getting so much more. Those people who don't take risks are the ones who are left on the side of the road and are always complaining about their current lifestyle and in general. And my 5th risk was starting this YouTube channel. Now, even when I'm recording this video, you think I'm not worried. Of course I'm worried. It's a risk. I'm exposing myself to the public. I'm speaking in front of you. I'm putting myself on the internet, and for criticizing and anything, you can say whatever you think about this video, and you know, all of those people who are commenting under this video, they can have all different nicknames, names, they can hide their true identity and everything. For me, I'm standing here right in front of you and giving you this speech exposed to any kind of criticism, but it's also a risk. But I think this risk that I'm taking it not only for myself. I think that this video would help you achieve way more in your life than you could have think of before this video. By posting this video, I want to help you achieve your own dreams, just like I did with mine, and for us all together to grow in our own lives, in a career, in a family life, and whatever you do, to grow together. So what have I learned from the risk so far? Well, first of all is to take a risk, you have to sacrifice something. I had to give up my entire life in Ukraine to just try this risk. You see, I had to give up my car, my garage, and I had to pay for my tuition in college. I had to give up my language, all of my friends, and all of the opportunities that I might have had in Ukraine if I stayed there. But the outcome of this risk was getting everything what I couldn't ever even imagine it is possible to get. But what I got is something that I wouldn't even imagine that I could ever get. There are so many more opportunities here for me. I feel so much happier. I'm getting so much of more money, so much of respect and fair treatment in Canada than I would ever have in Ukraine. By giving up my life in Ukraine, my language, my community, I have gained an extreme amount of happiness. By coming to Canada, I have found my wife, I have found my current job, and I have started this YouTube channel. I have started so many things by coming to Canada that I would never even imagine of having in Ukraine. I can afford things that I wouldn't be able to afford in Ukraine, and I feel about it so much better than I would feel in Ukraine. By coming to Alberta, I have finished my immigration, and I have found a beautiful city, Calgary, that I'm currently staying in and planning to grow my business here. When I was coming to Canada, I used to be 123 kg, and I lost about 30 kg in one summer when I went on a diet. I have changed the way I look, the way I speak, how much money I earn, my position in the society, and I have changed my own perception of the world and what I can achieve by taking more risks. You see, I had to give up so many things and go against a wall of people. There were 100 of people who said no to me. Out of 100 people, I would say only one person said it's a good idea. Other 99 doubted. You see, the problem is when you're thinking of taking risks, there is always another person. There will be many other people who would say that you shouldn't do that. The reason is simple. Every one of us thinks that we are better than another person. So for example, your neighbor is probably thinking that he is better, smarter, and better than you are, and better than me. And I would be thinking the same towards you, and you would be thinking the same towards me. That's a normal psychology. Everyone thinks that they're better than the others, and everyone is judging everyone else according to themselves. So for example, if you're talking to someone who would never have taken a risk like you're planning to do, they would discourage you and they would say, no, you shouldn't be doing that, and it's not a good idea, because they themselves would not be able to handle it. But it doesn't mean that you are not able to handle this risk and achieve your goals, dreams, and whatever you're striving for. The reason why I took this risk, I was crazy, I was desperate, I didn't know what I should be doing, but you know, I came to one conclusion that made me take this risk, and it was a really serious one. I have decided to myself that if I do not do this, I would regret it my entire life. I would think that I was a coward of not doing it, and I wouldn't be proud of myself. I would be ashamed of myself for the rest of my life, regretting for many years that I have never tried to do what I really wanted. And I really wanted to immigrate to Canada. Therefore, even if I failed to come here, even if I failed to achieve what I wanted, to get the immigration done, get enough money, learn English, pass all of my tests, and overcome all of those challenges, if I failed all of that, I would be at least proud that I have attempted to do that, and there would be no regret, because I would know that I did my best to get what I wanted. I did my best and I couldn't succeed, but I know that I gave all I had in me to go for my dream and achieve what I wanted. And it was way better to go towards my dream and fail than never even try it. And that's the reason why I decided to give up everything I had and go for what I really wanted. You see, you're the only person who is responsible for your own life. You're the only person who can judge upon your own decisions. And there is no one else in this world who is responsible for you. Every single person is thinking only about themselves, and it's your own responsibility to get yourself from point A, where you are, to point B, where you want to be in your life. And it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter if you were born in a better country, in a better place. You have to understand one thing, that doesn't matter which country you're from, doesn't matter which ethnicity or culture you're from, it's all the same. It's the same mentality of people in Canada that there was in Ukraine. There's the same mentality of people in India like it is in Ukraine. That's what I started to understand, that people are pretty much the same. And there is the same amount of people who are going to say no, and who are going to self-doubt, and who are, more importantly, going to discourage you from achieving your dreams. There are so many people who are going to say no, you shouldn't be doing that, because the only reason is they are, first of all, afraid for themselves. They're afraid to take the initiative to achieve that goal that you want to achieve. And more importantly, they are afraid that you are going to succeed on your goal, the goal that they might not even ever try. But you'll be surprised once you meet those people who are like-minded, like yourself, who are willing to take the step, who are willing to achieve the goal, who are willing to challenge themselves. Those people are way stronger than those people who are doubting themselves. Those people who have taken risks are never going to discourage you from doing so. They are going to support your idea, because they have self-value, respect, and understanding of themselves. And if they have that integrity and understanding of things, of what they are capable, they are more open towards you achieving your goals in life, in your dreams, and they're going to encourage. And this is what going to make you different from an ordinary person and a successful person. Once you start speaking to successful people in your life, you're going to be surprised by how optimistic they are and how supportive they are towards you taking risks and taking your first step towards what you ever wanted. I want you to look at where you are right now and what you want to achieve in your life, and take that risk towards your dreams and what you feel. Always follow your heart, always follow your guts, how they say it here, towards what you want. Don't listen to other naysayers. Go towards your dreams and be successful. That's all I wanted to tell you in this video today. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Also, hit that bell notification to see a video as soon as I upload it. Have a good one, guys, and we will see you in next video.